I like how liberals now love the Constitution. You guys hated the Constitution. Now you guys are Constitution experts. And I like how atheists are now Bible experts when they know nothing about Christianity.
Most atheists I know became atheists because they read the Bible. Because they cracked that book open, read what was inside of it, and went, there's no fucking way in hell I could ever be part of any of that. And as far as loving the Constitution goes, aren't you guys the ones that stormed the Capitol because you didn't like the results of a presidential election? Aren't you guys the one that are currently denying folks due process in the immigration proceedings? And before you come in and go, Obama denied people due process too. Yeah, and we didn't like him for that either. We supported him and said, hey, you got to stop doing this because it's unconstitutional. Something you guys seem fucking capable of doing. You guys only like the Constitution when it suits you. You don't like the Constitution when it comes to First Amendment rights. You want to support a president that wants to pull press passes of reporters that he doesn't like and shut down news organizations that write unflattering stories about him. You support a guy that wants to go after colleges and universities because they teach actual history and allow people from other countries to come here and get education. And then you want to talk to us about the Constitution? Your guy wipes his ass with the Constitution. Spare me.
You can't be Christian and believe in abortion. So which means you cannot be Christian and Democratic at the same time.
So as somebody that just bitched and moaned about the Constitution, now you want to tell people what they can and can't do based on what they believe, don't believe, and how they vote? Doesn't seem very constitutional to me, but okay. Wasn't it the Christian God that killed the firstborn of every house in Egypt? Wasn't it the Christian God that killed every man, woman, and child, including pregnant women? Excuse me. I had to sneeze. My apologies. When he flooded the earth? There is abortion in the Bible. So, once again, fucking spare me.
I'm just genuinely curious because I keep seeing on my For You page, we've lost rights. We're losing rights. What rights have you lost as an American citizen? They would like to know.
Well, you've lost the right to medical privacy. How do you think they're figuring out who gets abortions and who doesn't? By violating medical privacy, something that you have a right to. They're violating some American citizens' rights by rounding them up in these ICE raids and deporting them to other countries, sometimes without due process. That's the loss of a right. And he's only been in for 6 months. Now, today, he has deployed the National Guard to Washington, D.C., and federalized the Washington, D.C. Police Department. You think the people in Washington, D.C. have lost their right to live in a free state and not a militarized state? By the way, I love the cross that has the American flag on it because it does symbolize what they said fascism would represent. It would come to America draped in a cloth, American flag, and clutching a Bible. You fit that role perfectly, don't you?
I have a quick question for you liberals. How come you keep saying conservatives are racist? And don't say because we're deporting brown people. Those are your words, not mine.
But they're your actions, not ours. So yeah, partially because you're deporting brown people. You don't get to do racist shit and then go, hey, why do you say we're racist? And you don't get to say the racist shit that we just did. It might have something to do with the Confederate flags. It might have something to do with the extreme racism found on conservative sites all across the internet. It might have something to do with the fact that the Klan openly supports your party and your candidate for president. Racists don't typically endorse non-racists for president. They tend to stick together.
We don't deliberately kill our patients with medication, but just for the sake of argument, to play devil's advocate, what if we did? They're dying anyway.
Nurse Penny, hospice nurses are there for physical and emotional support of the patient, to help with pain management, to make them comfortable, and to help the family through emotional support. For you to even bring up devil's advocate for the sake of an argument and say they're dying anyway, that just shows what kind of person you really are.
And now we have issues. The kind of person Nurse Penny is the kind of person that does exactly what you said a hospice nurse should do. Be there to provide pain relief and comfort to both the patient and the family at a time when somebody is going to die imminently. They are dying. And if you will notice, she started out her conversation with, we don't slowly kill our patients with medication, because they don't. I know my stepmother was on hospice. My father was in a hospice care center. They don't do this. So for you to get outraged at the fact that she said, and what if they did, because they're dying anyway, is A, moronic, but B, misses the whole fucking point. Yeah, they are dying. And if the medication that's given to them to make them feel better, to alleviate the pain for them in their last few days, weeks, or months, also somehow contributes to their death a little bit quicker, then so be it. They're without pain. They're comfortable. They're getting to enjoy time. Let me tell you something, you fucking asshole. The last 8 days of my father's life were some of the most comfortable I had seen him in years. My father fought ailments for 3 fucking decades. He had a gallstone blowout, a chunk of his pancreas. He underwent the Whipple surgery, and from then on, he was on a roller coaster of health issues. He was an insulin-dependent diabetic. He had 2 heart attacks and a stroke. He was on his second pacemaker when he died. They found cancer on one kidney, removed it, then found cancer on the other kidney and froze it. They found cancer in his colon or his prostate? His prostate. He had to do dialysis every fucking day in this very bedroom. This closet over here was stacked with dialysis supplies, and my father spent half his fucking life hooked up to a fucking bag doing dialysis. He was on salt limitations, he was on high blood pressure medications, he was on this, and he was on that. And when it all came down to the end, when they said, hey, guess what, we're going to take one of your legs at the knee, and then we're going to take your foot off your other leg, and you're going to be bedridden for the remainder of your life. And he looked and said, fuck that shit. Just give me a pill to end it. The medical staff couldn't do it because in this country, we don't have that for everybody. My father looked at me and said, I've taken every fucking pill that they've ever asked me to take. I've gone to every fucking doctor's appointment that they ever asked me to go to. I've underwent every test. I've restricted everything that they told me to restrict. And now all I'm asking for is one more pill so I can be gone. And I couldn't give that to him. And it was people like Nurse Penny that took him in to the Joliet Area Hospice Center, made him comfortable, and made him smile again. Almost 4 years exactly earlier, he lost his wife. He might as well have lost everything. And it was people like Nurse Penny that made him smile again. That made him comfortable. That made him realize he was done. He didn't have to go to any more doctor's meetings. He didn't have to take any more medication. He didn't have to go through the regiment of bullshit that he had to go through every day just to stay alive. And those people in that hospice center made him feel happy again. Made him feel comfortable and at peace with his decision. So fuck you, you ignorant fucking bitch.